Hey y'all, it's me Alex. Today I am doing a video all about my 2020 beauty goals, kind of talking about any project pans I might be doing, pan that palettes, what my budget and low buy type things are going to be. I kind of hesitated to do this sort of video because I am not exactly the most comfortable talking about my own finances online, but I have seen a lot of people, a lot of friends of mine talking about like beauty budgets and things of that nature, so that kind of has inspired me to be a bit more open about that sort of thing. And I think in this day and age when we do live in a very consumeristic culture, it can be really beneficial to see other people who are kind of like trying to reduce spending and live their lives in a more sustainable way and being very open and blunt about that. My goals are going to be a bit different from last year just because I was kind of trying to navigate a low buy back then. My low buy for last year was I could get 3 items of makeup per month, and while I think that worked well in some ways, I felt the need to kind of reevaluate that into more of a quarterly budget because I've kind of realized that like my concerns about my makeup consumption aren't necessarily about having a certain amount of stuff, but rather that they are a bit more financial. So this year's a year that I am graduating from seminary, so I'm gonna have some more expenses, some student loans, things of that nature to pay off, and so I do want to be more mindful of my spending. I also didn't think it was the most helpful in that, yes, it helped me reduce the number of items, but it didn't necessarily do as much for my budget as I thought it would. So now my goal for 2020 is I am giving myself a budget of $150 per quarter, so per every 3 months. I am considering upping it a little bit during my birthday month just because I do like to take advantage of sales and things of that nature, and my birthday month is in April, and that always does allow me to kind of, you know, stock up on some things that I genuinely use. And that budget is going to be for makeup, skincare, body care, hair care, all of that stuff won't count towards the budget, but that is replacement only, with the caveat that if my skin or hair or something changes so drastically, like if I suddenly start breaking out all over my face or something and I need something to fix that, you know, that can change, but I don't necessarily think that situation is gonna happen. So that's kind of my caveat, is that I mostly just want to reduce my spending on makeup. As of today, I have only spent $15 of my $150 budget. I got a little, one of the Midas Cosmetics quads, and I will be reviewing that once it comes to my door. So I'm very excited about that. I think that form of a low buy is going to be a lot more beneficial towards me in the long run. I'm not sure like quite how. I think I am going to count like shipping and things like that towards like the amount that I'm spending on my low buy. It's all about cost for me and wanting to reduce my spending, and plus I know that I have a lot of makeup in my collection that I do really love and I do want to get good use out of, and that is kind of shifting me towards another part of my low buy and my beauty goals. So this year I do want to do a lot more looks featuring palettes that I haven't used in a long time, just because I do want to love on them a whole lot, because I've just been rediscovering a lot. Like I've been using my Urban Decay Vice 4 palette, like not all at once, but rather just like for the bright colorful shimmers in there, for the little pops of it, and I just want to enjoy stuff like that, and I'm hoping that y'all might be interested in seeing things like that too. I'm not necessarily looking to pan a whole lot. I would really like to get through a lipstick this year and maybe hit pan on a blush, but I'm not actively thinking about specific project pan things at the moment, except for what I'm going to introduce now as my Pan That palette of 2020, and that is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Self-Made palette. I've used this in a couple project pans before, and as you can see I have hit pan on a whole bunch of shades, as in 4 of them: Buttery, Hot Chocolate, Hot and Cold, and Treasure, and I would like to hit pan on every shade in this palette this year. I think that would go a lot better than the one I did last year, which I never actually filmed a finale for, so I'm just going to show y'all right here. That was the Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye palette because I was trying to get through it, and I think I did a pretty good job. But I think the thing is that I do like to switch up my eye looks a lot, so the shades that like kind of did the best were the shades that I could use in just about any eye look, whereas the others I would use but I wouldn't use enough to pan. Whereas like this one has a lot more variety of shades and a lot more shades that I would genuinely use. I'm not sure how I'm going to quite structure all of this. I just want to hit pan in every single shade. I do really like this palette. I have gotten a lot of good use out of it in the past. It's always one of those things, like, it got me into the Anastasia formula, and like it just kind of made me fall in love with high-end eyeshadows, this palette did. I think that this would be a palette that this year I would genuinely be excited to use, rather than like using up out of obligation or me just wanting to get rid of a problematic palette. Also, the shadows in this are a lot smaller than the ones in the Kat Von D palette, so I think that'll also be a bit more beneficial towards me being able to use this up. I'm thinking, instead of updating y'all on this via YouTube, I am going to move kind of some of my Project Pan stuff to my Instagram. That way I can have more content there than just like the looks that I do. And also, I just feel like I would definitely remember to post about this a lot more there than I do here. I'm gonna see how that goes. Is there anything else that I'm thinking about for 2020? As far as my channel goes, I have been really enjoying putting up 3 videos a week. My content isn't going to change that drastically. I have been enjoying doing more commentary style videos and get ready with me's, so you can expect a lot more of that. One of the other things that I think would be really helpful towards me in my low buy, I'm going to do a lot more anti-hauls of things that I actually want, because the one I did in December did actually help me talk myself out of a lot of makeup that I wanted but would not really find good use for in my collection, or would be like not a good idea for me to spend my money on. And I did end up getting the Melt Muerte palette. That's what I'm wearing on my eyes today. But also kind of going through that process was really helpful for me, in that if I could talk about all of the reasons that I shouldn't get something and still end up getting it because I know that I would enjoy it anyway. Like, this is the only thing that I've bought that I anti-hauled. That's how I knew that it was something that really was a good purchase for me, because I have really been enjoying this, doing a 3 looks 1 palette and like a review on it, and I have been really liking it. So I'm thinking probably I'm going to kind of do that as kind of a monthly practice of anti-hauling things that I'm actually really interested in. That way, when I do get around to actually buying things, I'll know that that is something that I am genuinely going to enjoy, rather than buying out of like hype or obligation. I think that is probably it for all my beauty goals of 2020. If I think of anything else, I will probably add it in via like a clip of editing Alex, because we all know that like my thoughts are kind of all over the place a little bit. Anyway, I'm gonna end this video here because I do need to get to class. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe down below if you want to see more videos from me, and I will see you on my next one. Hope you'll have a wonderful day. Bye.